Guys, we have some hot news to discuss. The New York Yankees have been one of the most active teams this offseason, making some significant acquisitions and moves. But as always, there are still some issues that need to be resolved before the start of spring training. And one of those issues involves the much-talked-about Alex Bregman, the former hitter for the Houston Astros. Who here has heard of Bregman? He is undoubtedly one of the big names this offseason. But the big question is, does he really fit into the Yankees' plans? According to Jon Heyman, MLB specialist and New York Post reporter, the Yankees' pursuit of Bregman doesn't seem to be a priority at the moment. In his live program on Bar Walk-Off, Heyman made it clear that while Bregman is an excellent player, he doesn't see the Yankees' interest in him right now. The Yankees have already made big moves this offseason. They are, without a doubt, one of the winners of the winter so far, Heyman said. So, why would they go after Bregman now? The truth is that, despite his undeniable talent, the Yankees are already quite satisfied with their additions so far and have other priorities. A left-handed reliever for the bullpen and a player to complete the infield between second and third base are still issues that need to be addressed. Now, why should the Yankees focus on Bregman? He would certainly bring a powerful bat to the lineup, but we also know that he's not exactly the kind of piece the Yankees need right now. Additionally, competition seems to be growing, with other teams, like the Boston Red Sox, gaining momentum as potential destinations for Bregman. However, before worrying about the Red Sox, it's worth remembering that what the Yankees have already done this offseason puts them in a solid position. They don't desperately need another star. They already have the roster to compete head-to-head with any team in the AL East. You know, when the offseason rolls around and the Yankees start making moves, there's always a buzz about who could be the next big addition to the team. Alex Bregman is undoubtedly one of those names that inevitably make fans dream about what he could bring to the Bronx. After all, he's a talented player with an impressive track record and a significant impact on the batting lineup. However, personally, I think the Yankees might be on the right track by not putting too much emphasis on Bregman at this point. The Yankees have already made some significant and smart moves this offseason. When we look at the roster, there's a sense that the team is much more complete now than in recent years. Sure, there are still issues to be resolved, like the bullpen and the infield. But would Bregman really solve those problems? Maybe not. His arrival to the team, although a big name, wouldn't be the magical solution the Yankees need. They already have solid players in several positions, and what's missing are specific pieces to strengthen areas that really need attention. By focusing on other players, like a left-handed reliever and a good defender for second or third base, the Yankees are prioritizing the team's real needs. Bregman, although an excellent hitter, doesn't seem to be the missing piece to complete this puzzle. And that's the point. The Yankees are already in a solid position, and their roster is far from being a needy team for another star. They have enough strength to compete in the AL East, with or without Bregman. And here's my question for you. Do you think Bregman would be a good addition to the Yankees, or do you prefer the team to focus on other areas of the roster? How do you see the Red Sox's moves? Let's talk about it in the comments. With all these changes, what matters is that the Yankees are ready to face the season head-on, with or without Bregman. What do you think? Yankees fans, we now have a hot topic that could change the course of our season. A trade involving Marcus Stroman, the pitcher who could help us solve a big need. But is this trade really what the Yankees need? Let's talk about it and come to our conclusions together. Did you know the New York Yankees are actively negotiating Marcus Stroman? The idea behind this move is really interesting. The Yankees are thinking of using Stroman as trade bait to bring in a big-name infielder, someone who can give the team the boost it needs. And who is this player? The name circulating is Luis Arráez from the Miami Marlins, a player who has been an All-Star 3 times, won 2 Silver Sluggers, and has 3 batting titles. Incredible, right? Now, of course, like every good trade, there are pros and cons. Arraez is not exactly a master in defense, especially at second base. He has over 300 games at that position, but his defense still leaves something to be desired. However, his ability to hit is unquestionable, and that could be exactly what the Yankees need. He is the kind of hitter who could make a difference in the lineup, especially after we lost Gleyber Torres to free agency. And let's be honest, we know how important hitting is in the Bronx, right? You're probably wondering, but what does this mean for our team and the future of the franchise? Well, Arraez is a player with only 1 year left on his contract, making $14 million this year. If the Yankees could make this deal work, they could balance the salaries, as Strowman is making $18.33 million over the next 2 seasons. This would allow the team to fill the second base gap without compromising too much of the team's financial future. Guys, this trade being discussed could really be a game changer for the Yankees. The idea of involving Marcus Stroman in a deal to bring Luis Arráez has been generating a lot of buzz, and for good reason. Arraez is a great hitter, no doubt, with an impressive history of all-stars and batting titles. The question is, would he be the perfect fit for our team, especially with his defensive weaknesses? I believe the trade has potential, especially considering the Yankees have some gaps to fill, particularly at second base. Losing Gleyber Torres to free agency was a blow, and Arraez, with his offensive talent, could really bring new energy to the lineup. But would he make up for his lack of defense? That's the big point to think about. Defense is an essential part of a team's success, and we know how much the Yankees value that. But here's what makes me think this trade could be interesting. The Yankees are gaining financial flexibility. Stroman, with his $18.33 million contract over the next 2 seasons, could be traded for someone with a $14 million contract, balancing the team's finances. And with Arraez, we'd have more consistency in the offensive part, which is where, in the end, the Yankees really need to shine. What I like most about this trade is the possibility of strengthening the batting lineup. The Bronx is calling for more power at the plate, and if Arraez can bring that, I think the deal is worth it. But of course, if his defense really is an issue, is it worth the risk? The big question here is, how far are we willing to sacrifice one area to improve another? And here's the question for you. Will this trade really bring the offensive power the Yankees need to compete with the best in the league? What do you think about the idea of bringing Arraez to the Bronx? Will his lack of defense be compensated by his ability to hit? Or should we keep an eye on another strategy? So guys, what do you think about this Yankees move? Are we really close to seeing a big step for our season? Or should we consider other options? The trade involving Marcus Stroman and Luis Arráez raises a lot of questions and possibilities, and I'd love to know what you think about it. Will Arraez's offensive power make up for his defensive shortcomings? Or should the Yankees focus on other strategies to fill the second base gap? Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments, because this conversation doesn't end here. Let's discuss and try to understand together what's best for our team. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything about what's happening with the Yankees.